My name is Eric Barber, and I have been a personal trainer, coach, gym owner for 36 years now. I'm 56 years old. I just did my body fat last week, and it came out to 9.7%. I've competed in multiple sports and have just had a blast with life. Anyways, I'm going to give you one piece of advice here that I give to everybody, and hardly anybody ever listens to me. And that is, when you go to the gym, start taking notes on your workouts. It is one of the simplest things that you can do to achieve your goals. Whether your goals are to be leaner, whether they're to be bigger and more muscular, whether they're to be fitter, run a 5K, whatever. It is so much easier if throughout the process, if you take notes along the way, if you have a game plan and then take notes along the way. So I'm old school. I'm going to show you what I do. Basically, I take notes and I only write on one side of each page because I don't like to bleed through. I've learned over the years I don't like to bleed through. And I write all of my workouts down one day at a time. I date them, and I always carry an extra pen on me. I usually carry 2 pens. I've had pens go out on me. I'm not saying that you got to do it the old school way like me. There's tons of other options out there. But if you don't do this, it's kind of like your goals, your dartboard is on the wall and you're just randomly throwing darts at other walls. Okay. You want to throw your darts at the dartboard in order to achieve your goals. So if you just go to the gym and you try to do everything by memory, or even worse, you don't even have a plan, you just go in there and you just start moving stuff around, you're not going to be able to keep that up month after month, year after year, and get excellent results. You might attain some level of medial fitness. That's like just bare minimum effort. So I would recommend doing something like this. So if you, let me pull it up here. So you've got workout apps, right? You've got your workout apps. Those are great. Pros on those would be easy calculations. You've got your workout history on there. You've got charts and graphs. It's convenient. You can take it anywhere with you. You can take the notes on the little notes section in your phone. You don't even have to have a specialized fitness app. You can just use the notes section on your phone. To me, that's a little gunky. It's a little bit messy. Unless I were to take those notes in my phone and then convert them over to something after the workout. You can use spreadsheets like Google Sheets, that kind of thing. You can lay it all out there. Another great thing you could do is to use your smartwatch on your phone. Those are great for tracking things like your heart rate and distance and calories and workout duration and all that kind of thing. That's kind of cool. What I do a lot of times over the years is, and side note, I have boxes of these. I mean, if I were to stack them all on top of each other, it would probably be like chest high. I've tried to keep all of my workout training journals throughout all of my years. I love it because, first of all, not everybody can read my handwriting, but I can read it perfectly. Second of all, let's say I tweak my elbow, or, I'm trail running and I maybe sprain my ankle a little bit. I've got the date written down there. I've got the activity that I did it on. I can go back and see how long it heals. I like, a lot of times I'll go through and I'll write down, you scroll through a couple weeks later, and the next time I go to do a trail run workout, I'm like, I have zero pain in my ankle. It's completely healed. So I'm able to tell as well how long it took that ankle to heal. Okay, so not only, and if I were to go to a chiropractor or a doctor and they're going to say something like, when did this happen, or how did it happen? And you're like, I don't know. 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I don't remember. I can go in there, I tell them exactly what I was doing. Okay, I was doing an overhead one-arm tricep extension with a dumbbell, and I overstretched it, and I felt something go pop, pop, pop. I put ice on it, did ibuprofen. A lot of times I'll take this data from in here, and I will put it on a spreadsheet. So when I'm training for something that requires a lot of numbers, like, let's say, a powerlifting, if I'm going through a phase where I just want to, for fun, join like a local powerlifting competition that they have annually or something like that. Those are fun for me. I don't just go into them blindly. I'll take a month and I'll start training heavy and I'll keep track of all my numbers, convert them over to a spreadsheet, see where I'm at compared to years previous. And I go in there with a game plan and know what I'm doing. Same thing with Olympic weightlifting. I've competed in Olympic weightlifting. Same thing with CrossFit. Definitely kept records on CrossFit. More of my bodybuilding style workouts and just traditional strength and conditioning, I keep track of all that stuff, but I don't convert that over to like a spreadsheet, nothing like that. So, but again, what I usually like to do, I go old school workout journal, keep it right there in my gym bag. Pros on that, requires no batteries. It's extremely simple. I can read my own handwriting. I know at the title of each workout, I'll write down what body part I'm training so that if I need to look real quick through my notes, I can quickly find all of my previous leg workouts or chest workouts. It's super fast to find them. Doesn't require any subscriptions. There's no chance of it accidentally deleting. No passwords. Nothing gets redesigned. Sometimes those apps will go through a redesign and you can't find your numbers when you really need them the most. Cons on that is you have to physically carry it. Every once in a while you can lose it. I've left my workout journal at the gym before and had to go in the next day and get it. Not a big deal. Yeah, you have to write things manually, but I don't mind taking the time between sets. I'm resting anyways. Things that I actually write down would be my date, the weights that I used, the sets, the reps. I don't really write down my rest periods unless I'm doing something like training for some kind of a fitness event like CrossFit. And I definitely take notes on how I'm feeling. So I notice I can scroll back and I can notice times where I go through phases of low energy, or sometimes I'll just notice phases where I just feel super strong, super energetic, and I'm able to see what I'm doing in life. Maybe I started leaning out, or maybe I started, went through a move and it was high stress. You can also track your body weight. You can track your body fat. You can track your measurements. You can track your cardio times, the distance, your heart rate. Like I said earlier, definitely tracking injuries or weird pain or anything like that. Sometimes I'll go through phases where I'll write down how my sleep has been, energy levels throughout the day, that kind of thing. So you don't need to do all that. You don't need to record everything. But what I'm saying is, if you want to reach your goals and you're actually really serious about it, then at least write down the workout, write down what the sets and reps are, how you're feeling, write the date, and move on. Okay? I hardly ever actually go back to read them, but when I do need to go back and read them, they're right there and I can quickly find them. Here's a sample progression, right? So like you notice on one workout, maybe 2 weeks ago, you were using the 40-pound dumbbells for 10 reps. And then the next week, you bumped it up to the 45-pound dumbbells and you were only able to get 8 reps, right? And then on the next week, you tried the 45-pound dumbbells again, and this time you are able to get 10 reps. So you're able to mark your progress and systematically just build and build and build and build and reach your goals that way. A lot of times I'll work on, I don't want to let my speed go. So a lot of times I'll incorporate track training into my fitness as well. So when I do that, it's very important for me to track my 200 meter times, my 400 meter times, my 800 meter times or half mile times, and my 1 mile times. So I just am constantly aware of where I'm at. Okay. If I go through a phase where I let that part go and then I come back to it, I can tell what I had worked up to and then maybe just take a more systematic, safer approach to get there this next time. So whatever system you use, keep track on something, because if you walk in the gym with no idea what you're doing, no idea what you did last time, again, it's just kind of like throwing darts at a wall. I'm not saying it's pointless. Any exercise is better than no exercise. But you don't want to get hurt and you don't want to get bored and you don't want to get overtrained, and you do want to know what you're doing when you go in there. You're going to get much, much better results. So hope that helps. And we'll see you next time.